Good morning, YouTube. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. I don't know about you, but I've recently been dragged back into TikTok. I go in these phases where like I'll spend a lot of time on TikTok, and like that's the only thing I'm doing is like every free moment that I have, and even times I'm supposed to be doing something else, I will be scrolling through TikTok. And then like I'll stop and then like won't touch it for like a month and a half and then pick it right back up. We are right the peak of our little TikTok phase once again. And so I came across this TikTok. And could not resist and went and did the thing. I went to Omega Mart. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of all that, if you're new here, hi, my name is Theo. I'm a 20-year-old non-binary amputee, and I'm just trying to spread some good vibes on this corner of the internet and talk about like amputee things and being a weird nerd who likes art and going on adventures. So, hi. Lovely to meet you. Now that we've introduced ourselves and gotten to know each other, let me answer probably the first question coming to your mind, because that TikTok is very vague. What is Omega Mart? Well, champ. Omega Mart is an interactive art installation put together by Meow, which is a collaboration of artists who go around and do cool shit. And they've got another permanent installation in Colorado? Nope, that's wrong. Santa Fe. They're making a new one in Colorado. Omega Mart is set up like a grocery store, except there's something different. There's portal to other worlds all throughout the store. All the products on the shelves are also actually for sale, and you can actually purchase them, but we'll get back to that later. I really came here because I wanted to talk a little bit about the accessibility and then also rant about how I felt going. I was a little concerned about the accessibility of the whole thing. I have anxiety, and I've got a laundry list of things that just make me wildly uncomfortable, and there's a chance that I would have a panic attack. And I hate to say it, I'm afraid of the dark, so was a little concerned, but also concerned about like the amount of flashing lights and things like that, and I wanted to see how accessible it was. Also, I was a little bit concerned because I do have a prosthetic leg, so sometimes mobility can be a little tough, and I wanted to make sure that everywhere was like cool and accessible, and I'm pretty pleased to say it was. So if you didn't know, I'm an amputee. I'm missing my left leg. I'm a hip disarticulation or whatever. But yeah, it's been gone my entire life. Never had one. Never will get one. Probably. Science could get cool. Mobility can be hard sometimes with uneven terrain. And I was a little bit concerned because if we're going into different portals, different worlds, I don't imagine it all being flat land consistently. But it was very accessible. There wasn't very many spots with uneven terrain. The area with the slides, the floor there did have a little bit of give. It was like I don't know, do you guys remember when playgrounds started to get rid of the gravel or wood chips or whatever kind of shit they had at the playgrounds, but it was like that rubbery bouncy ish shit? Yeah, it was that, but all inside the floor, but where those slides were. But aside from that, pretty much flat land. There was a step up when you step into the freezer, or it's just a big step on the floor. You gotta step over it. I don't know. But it is taped down very well. And then also when I went, there was a worker who was manning the freezer door. And so every time he opened the door for someone, he made sure to point out that there was a step there. So, but outside of that, it was flat everywhere else. Though there were some places with like crawl spaces. However, you know, most of the crawl spaces were to go to like specific room or like go to other rooms, and there was more than one way to access almost every room. So if you didn't want to go through the crawl space, if you just wander around a little bit more, I promise you, you'll find an entry into that room that you were trying to get into before. I did make a promise to myself that I wasn't going to get on the floor for any reason when I went, because I'm not built like that. But I did end up getting on the floor because I was inside this little hut thingy, and then there was this hole in there, and then Michaela, who is my best friend and traveling companion, and I can't believe I waited so long to mention her about this video. Michaela went in there, and then so because I didn't want to be alone, I felt like I had to follow her, and so I did. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because it was kind of cool in there. It was like its home, like it turned into like this little cavern, if you will. And then there was like a rope. I was really bamboozled that they had me spelunking in the grocery store. I was like, hey, y'all got me spelunking in the grocery store. Any of the areas that had flashing lights or fog or dim lights and low lighting, all of those areas were like properly signed, I guess. I don't know. There were quite a few signs all over the place about like, you know, hey, flashing lights here, fog use here, stuff like that. And so, you know, you can navigate around with, you know, knowledge of what's going on, I guess, and also avoid things so you don't, you know. Anyway, that was so bad. That was so bad. There was this one room in that like this weird long hallway in like the corporate office or something. And quite literally, it was just a strobe light in like this purely white room, just fully blank white room. But it was dark when you walk in, and then the strobe light, you know, did thing. But every time the light would flash, it was like taking a picture of everybody in the room, and then the picture was like projected onto the ceiling. I didn't go in there because it would have given me a headache, but I did peek through when Michaela went through. Michaela was a real OG. We love Michaela in this house. She recorded a lot of these clips because my phone at the time was broken. She went into all of the rooms to see all the things. I did not. And so I got some cool clips of some of the other rooms, like the Infinitizer was also, that's what it was called. Really sick. Loved that. Really cool to look at. Going back to more accessibility things, there was an elevator, so that way you could get from the downstairs to the upstairs, you know, and there, you know, was stairs. Everybody loves stairs. Though the stairs in the like big cave area were extremely steep. There was a sign. I didn't read it the first time. I just continued walking and then tried to figure out why my hamstrings were burning by the time I got to the top. But, you know, if I read, I would have figured it out. Another thing that you can request at the guest services desk, or really I'm sure if you have just asked anyone who's working there, you can request what's called a sensory bag. They'll hand out you'll give you a sensory bag in case any part of the experience is too much, or, you know, and these sensory bags have noise canceling headphones, sunglasses, and fidget toys in them. You know, just in case you need to take a minute. Also, there are some areas that were designed to be like a more like quiet, like sit spot, like chill if you need a moment, because it can get very overstimulating. There's a lot going on, you know, and so there's quite a few areas where there's like chairs and like I think there's like benches in some spots. But then you're also surrounded by cool art, so then you're also not being like taken out of the experience to like go sit somewhere. You get to sit and still enjoy everything that's happening. Let's talk about products, baby. So all the products in the store, or not all of them, but like obviously like the ones that are like on the shelves, like a grocery store, those ones were for sale. Cool shit, a whole bunch of cool shit, not gonna lie. And like cool if you like just like funny, useless nonsense. Because like all of the products are absolute nonsense. I love that, honestly. It's great. Like Michaela got a bottle of vegan goat pus. It was just lemonade, but you know, like all the labels are wacky and zany. Right here, I've got, it says, who told you this was butter? It's an air freshener, but you know, who told you this was butter? I've also got some gender fluid right here, and I think that's pretty great. Speaks for itself. Overall, I'd rate Meow Wolf's Omega Mart 5 prosthetic legs out of 5. Nope. Yeah, out of 5 prosthetic legs. It was very fun. It was very pretty. We love art in this house. And it was accessible, and I had a good time. And it wasn't too overstimulating for me, but you know, that's depending, you know, person to person. If you'd like to take a trip to Omega Mart, tickets are $45 for adults and like $40 for kids and seniors. And yeah, I think there is also a military discount as well. And there's also a discount if you were a Nevada resident, because you know, it is in Vegas, right off the strip. You know, Nevada residents, I don't know. I had a great time overall. It was so fun. It was so cool. The art was beautiful. And I am like a giant child, and the admission is like you get paid to get in, and then there is no time limit, so you can just run around as long as you want. And there's also like a hidden bar in there, you know. Ooh, it was very exciting. It was so fun. I definitely recommend it. Yeah. Give me just a second. I want to. Yeah, just come grab something. Thanks, King.
Thanks, King.
And with that, thanks for chilling and chatting with me. Much appreciate it. If you would like to stick around and chill and chat with me some more about other things, like disability things, as well as weeb shit, because I'm a nerd, and other lifestyle vloggy travel content. I'll be doing some more things in the future when the world goes back to normal eventually. And if you'd like to stick around for that, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week for more good vibes in this corner of the internet. And with that, good night.